Hello sports fans, this is Steven here for JustMyPicks.com, and I bring you a special 2013 breakdown of all the NFL divisions there is. I'm going to be doing the NFC South in this video. A lot of things have been changing in the NFC South. We've seen a lot of coaches come, a lot of coaches go. We've seen a lot of player personnel go and also come. I'm going to start from the bottom, make my way to the top. Starting out at number 4. The Carolina Panthers. It pains me to say this, but Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers are going to have another disappointing season this year. Cam Newton, for the longest I've been preaching since he's been in the NFL, he needs more help besides just Steve Smith. D'Angelo Williams and also Jonathan Stewart, they're serviceable running backs, but they're not anything special. When I look at Steve Smith, he used to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFC South, but now he's like the 4th or 5th at this point in time because there's been so much talent coming into the NFC South that it's harder and harder to put him up at the top echelon of this group. With that being said, Cam Newton has to do it all. If Cam Newton does not develop a better relationship with his wide receivers or even help them come into their own, they're going to finish last as usual or come close to last. This division is a very tough division. We've seen all of these teams continue to get better each year. I don't have any inkling that Ron Rivera is going to be able to sign a free agent or any idea if he's going to make a big trade, a blockbuster trade. So until that changes, I'm putting the Carolina Panthers at 4. I love Cam Newton as a quarterback. I love Steve Smith as a fiery wide receiver. I love him on my team, but you can't win football one on 11. So to me, it's a lot of wasted time in Carolina. I think they need to fire Ron Rivera and get a new coach that's offensive minded that can help Cam Newton develop and become a better quarterback each year. Coming in at number 3, the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints were cap hit very hard. They had a lot of issues that went on with them losing draft picks with the whole bounty scandal. They didn't have their head coach, Sean Payton, last year, and that really threw off the development, and that threw away their season last season. Coming into this season, I expect Sean Payton to take the head coaching reins back and put his foot down. Drew Brees, we know what he's going to give you, a great season from a quarterback, throwing a lot of touchdowns, limiting those interceptions. Last season, we can give him a pass. That wasn't his best season. We obviously know he was dealing with the scandal, with the bounty things, and losing his head coach, losing a lot of good players on defense and offense. So what I'm going to do is put the Saints here at 3. I haven't seen the Saints do better in offseason. I haven't seen them bring in any big-name free agents, but what I have seen is them shuffle around players on that offensive line. That gives me some hope that Drew Brees will be protected more. They will have Mark Ingram in the fold, running the ball more. They flirted with the idea of having Chris Ivory, but that didn't work out. So Pierre Thomas and those boys, they need to run the ball, and you have the Shetland pony in Darren Sproles down there. Let's not forget, he can catch the ball and run the ball with the best of them. He's one of those short running backs that in space, if you give him an inch, he will take a mile. He has Reggie Bush speed, and he will get out and break tackles. We've seen it many times in San Diego, and we've seen it many times in New Orleans. Coming in at number 2, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they got Darrelle Revis, immediately shot up in respect, immediately got up there in value because Darrelle Revis not only, if he's healthy, he can shut down a whole side of the field for you. He's like a Deion Sanders. He gives you the best of both worlds. Plus, he can cover the best wide receivers in the NFL. He doesn't just cover them. He takes from one side of the field to the other, and he'll follow that receiver all day long, and he won't get tired. Darrelle Revis brings out a different type of level of intensity. He'll also help safety Mark Barron out. He'll also help those cornerbacks out to know that, hey, we got Revis, so we can possibly learn from one of the best in the NFL. Plus, his contract is non-guaranteed. All those millions of dollars he must earn and he must produce on a year-in, year-out basis. He has a lot of those signing bonuses that if things aren't met, he won't get that money. So I expect Darrelle Revis not only to ball out, but have one of his best seasons coming off knee injuries. He's looked great so far in rehab. He's looked great as far as getting back on the field, running around, flying around. I expect this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense to take another step forward. Also, Vincent Jackson and Josh Freeman were a hook-up combination last season. Add Doug Martin to that, they are just continuing to better themselves on offense. Josh Freeman is the big question. Can Josh Freeman late in the season hold this team together and be the leader that they drafted him to be? I think that's possible this season. I think they have all the tools and weapons in place. They have a great fan base, and I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will make the playoffs this year out of that very tough division. Coming in at number 1, the Atlanta Falcons. What can I say? Losing to the San Francisco 49ers last year was a very heartbreaking loss for that team, but you do have Tony Gonzalez, the greatest the greatest tight end possibly of all time, coming back. You do have Roddy White. You have Julio Jones, the best wide receiver on that team. More physical than Roddy White and stronger than Roddy White. He's just not as fast as Roddy White, but he does have game-breaking speed. Also, the Atlanta Falcons got Steven Jackson and let go Michael Turner. I think that may hurt them a little later in the long run because Steven Jackson is a little injury prone. But what I will tell you, Steven Jackson is a bruiser who will stick his nose in that pile and get every single yard. Steven Jackson can also catch out the backfield, and he will also give Matt Ryan something he's never had. One of those third down running backs. I know Michael Turner was a bowling ball, a big pile of muscle and thighs and stuff, but Steven Jackson is one of those guys who people physically fear. They have to make career decisions whether to try to tackle Steven Jackson and potentially get plowed over or either run for the hills. That's basically what they do. And so I like the Atlanta Falcons to win this division. Their defense needs to step up because they've lost Brent Grimes. They lost a lot of key weapons, and they have a lot of holes. I know getting Osi Umenyiora was a okay thing, but Osi was a product of the New York Giants. And I think that because they had 7 or 8 good pass rushers, he got a lot of his sacks. Going back to when they had Justin Tuck and when they had Michael Strahan and even having JPP. When you have 4 to 5 guys on the line that are coming at one time, it's impossible to double team every single guy. So you'll see a lot of OC not produce a lot well, but having some of those veteran defensive linemen will help the Falcons in late game situations. I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons to not only win this division, but also make the playoffs with that pick. You can check me out at justmypicks.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at justmypickstv. You also can check me out on this video and all my other videos on YouTube /justmypickstv. Thank you very much for subscribing. Please comment on all my videos and share all my videos. Be blessed.